I'm sure that you have seen me over the years show you a tablet from Amazon. And what's interesting is that, along with everybody else, Amazon has done a really nice job of kind of um, updating the technology that they offer, just like everybody else, without charging an arm and a leg. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you typically buy a tablet, you pay for the storage that's inside incrementally. You want one that's this big, you pay this much. You want one that's this big, you pay that much, so on and so forth. I'm going to show you something over the next few minutes that will change the way you think about your purchase of a tablet, not necessarily because it has more or less features, but gives you more storage, because in the end, that winds up being the biggest hurdle when it comes to technology. I don't have enough room in my computer. I don't have enough room in my phone. What if you could buy a tablet that was one size fits all? That's what this is. This is the Fire 8 Plus. I'll explain what Plus means in a second. But this is a 32 gig tablet, expandable up to 1 terabyte, 1,000 gigabytes. And I'll tell you how you do that in a minute. A Black Friday sale price of $84.99, so we'll call it $85. 5 easy pays of $17. And of course, because free shipping and handling this entire weekend, that includes now. So you'll get it home with a 30-day return and not have to pay any shipping at all. The Fire tablet is something that Amazon has been perfecting and making better and better throughout the, I don't know, I'm going to say the last 7 or 8 years. Funny story, when I first started working with Amazon, nobody knew Alexa was coming. Nobody knew, things you could, like Fire Stick that you could plug into your TV. They had a Kindle. They had an e-reader. And I thought, that's pretty cool. Like, I can read any book in the world, any book that's ever been published, any book at any time. I just go online, I download, and I get it. I'm like, it's never going to get any better than this. Yes, it did, because they came up with affordable tablets. And when you think about what you do with a tablet, let's not even talk about name brands for a second. There are only a handful that compete out there. But what is it that you want to do every single day with your tablet? And I think a lot of it has to do with what we do on our phones and our computers. So as you take a look at the screen here, you see the ability to do what you would do on a phone on a larger screen, what you would do on a computer, yet portable. We can shop, we can read. We're going to go inside all these guys, but I'm just kind of giving you like a little synopsis here. There's an app store, there's photos, there's a web browser, there's videos, there's social media, there's all of this stuff, and email included, and productivity tools. And you start to think to yourself, do I really need a computer, especially if you're retired? I think I get this question probably more than any other when it comes to comparing a tablet to a computer. I have an older computer, but it's older and it's slowing down, and I don't really do what I used to do with it when I was, on there every day with projects for work and all this other stuff. I just need it for the basics. Well, you're not going to just get the basics with this. You're going to get a lot of what you did on your computer and way more than you ever thought of. And what do I mean by that? Well, because of the processor inside here, and by the way, we're giving you a wireless charger for it, which means you just drop the tablet right onto the charging stand, and you don't even need to plug the tablet in. The charging stand has power in it, and it charges it. So once you get all that up and running, you are going to make this screen look just like your phone, look just like your computer, yet you've got an 8-inch high definition display that's going to make everything a lot easier to see than you would see on a phone, and be able to do what you're doing right now. So let's start with what we all do. We shop, right? That's why you're watching me right now. That's why you're on QVC2, or you're on the main channel, or you're looking at HSN, or wherever you might be. There's no fee for this, by the way. Everything that I'm going to show you during this presentation is free. There is no monthly fee to go on to a Fire tablet, unlike a phone that makes you pay a monthly subscription to whatever service it is, Verizon or AT&T. Okay, we were shopping, but then we're going to go backwards. We're going to go back to where it all began, and that is the e-reader. And if you look at what the Kindle costs today, surprisingly, it's more expensive. And Kindle's made by Amazon. I'm not throwing them any shade or anything. I'm just saying that this gives you the ability to do more than what an e-reader would do, and yet not have to pay necessarily as much. What I find fascinating just about this app in itself is that, let's go back to a full screen for a second. I don't have my readers on, my little dollar store readers right now, and I'm struggling a little bit to see this. So instead of getting my glasses out, watch what I can do. So slide my finger across the screen here, and I know you can see this, right? And look how responsive this is. I think one of the best tests when it comes to any device that has a touchscreen, it could be a phone, it could be a computer, but certainly it could, in this case, be a tablet. Does it respond, or do I have to bang on it? And like, I hit it one time and it doesn't do anything? No, all I've got to do is just drag the screen side to side. Do a lot of stuff when you get inside the reading app as well. You can change the font, you can change the look, you can change the backgrounds and all the other stuff. So there you go. You've got your reading, you've got your shopping, you've got your reading. And then you go inside here and it's off to the races, because a lot of people go, well, will I be able to fill in the blank? Will I be able to game? Will I be able to watch videos? Will I be able to do social media? And the answer is yes, 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 yes. Stuff that you haven't even thought of lives inside this tablet, and they'll give you suggestions, but really it's up to you. It's up to you to go inside here and explore. And I've told this story so many times. I have an uncle who retired years and years ago. He bought, back when they had the 7-inch tablet, he bought the 7-inch tablet, and I said, Mike, what are you going to do with this thing? He goes, I'm going to play games. And I was like, what else? He's like, no, I'm just going to play games. This is my retirement hobby. I'm going to play blackjack, and I'm going to do Scrabble and all that stuff. And I was like, isn't it cool that you didn't have to spend $600 on a tablet? And you guys know who I'm talking about. And I will never, ever, ever diss Apple or the iPad, because it's a terrific tablet. And you know what? If you can afford it, go for it. But everything I'm showing you today can be done on the iPad, and almost everything you can do on the iPad can be done on this. So it's really just a question of preference, budget, that kind of stuff. But if you're handing an 8-inch tablet to a 10-year-old and they drop it in the tub, I'd rather lose a $60 tablet or an $85 tablet than I would, an $800 tablet. What else can we do with this? Well, all of your photos are available, to be able to take and look at and kind of scroll through. Again, I'm kind of bragging here, but I'm not making any effort to look at these photographs. This becomes a nice little digital photo frame. You can set it up into a slideshow if you want. Put it on the stand that we're going to give you, and use it as a little piece in the living room, dining room, bedroom to fall asleep at night. We're talking about comparing a computer, a laptop, a desktop, whatever it might be, to a tablet, and can I do the same things that a computer can do? And the answer is you sure can. And in the past, it used to be that if you went to a tablet or a phone version of a website, it was abbreviated. You didn't necessarily have the same features, the same selections. I guarantee you right now, if you go on QVC.com on your laptop, it looks just like this. All the same selections up here to be able to go watch the different channels live, to be able to check your account, make purchases, whether it's something that's brand new, it's jewelry, it's beauty. It looks just like the computer. So I think you see where I'm kind of hinting at here. If you've got an older computer and you're not using a computer for what a computer was meant for, this is probably the answer. And I don't think you're going to find a computer for $85. All right, we got a little update from Brian. What's the story? First day of this month. Oh, at this low Black Friday price, which is $85, which is cool. That's a 32 gig. Oh man, then there's only 250 of them. So there you go. So 250 of the 8-inch tablet. It comes with the charging stand. You've got free shipping and 5 easy pays of $17. It's really incredible. I'm going to get back to all the goodness in a second, but every time I show an Amazon tablet, I don't really pay attention. I mean, I'm kind of pulling back the curtain here. I don't pay attention to the deals and the money and all that stuff. That's beyond my pay grade. That's what the buyers and Amazon, all those guys do. I learn to make sure I can give you guys like an educated explanation. I am always pleasantly surprised when I look up at the screen and I see the little graphic and I see the price, and I'm like, man, just when I thought they could never get more affordable, Amazon just does this terrific job of doing just that. Because a lot of you watching tonight might be saying to yourself, I only want to do 1 or 2 things that you're showing me on the tablet. I may not do the 15 things that you have on your screen. And you know what? I'm spending your money here, but I think that if that's all you're planning on doing, you'd rather spend $85 than spend $500, $600, $700 from another brand. Because I always use the comparison. It's like, tell me the difference between a more expensive tablet like an iPad and something from Amazon. Pound for pound, they serve the same purpose. Now, if you're gonna edit a movie, if you're making a 2.5-hour movie, you're not doing that on here. You're doing it on an iPad. If you're going to record an album, you're going to do that on, with the help of an iPad, not with this. But aside from stuff like that, I mean, the day-to-day things and tasks that we do on our phones, on our computers, happen on a tablet like this. Now, I've kind of just scratched the surface, and that's why I always like having longer time with you guys when it comes, especially to the tablet, because we don't have to rush through it. But I want to kind of detour for a second and go back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the hour, and that is the internal storage. Because for me, there are three things about a Fire tablet that really jump out. One, you have all that versatility. Two, you have the parental controls that we're going to get to in a second. And three, you have, aside from Alexa, you have expandable storage inside. And what does that mean? All right, let's talk about this for a second, because there are two ways to use a tablet. You hear the term streaming. Streaming means I'm watching QVC live. In order to do that, pardon me, I have to be connected to the internet. There's no fee for that, but I have to be connected to the internet if I'm going to watch something live. I'm watching live TV, QVC, for example. The other way to use a tablet is downloading something. Downloading just like you would download a file to your computer. When you start downloading information, movies, books, music, games, whatever it might be, you start to chip away at the internal digital garage inside here. Now, you start with 32 gigs. Between us, that's a pretty sizable internal storage for a tablet, right? You're not putting anything heavy duty in there that's going to use up 30 gigs of the 32 gigs. But that said, if this is going to become a companion piece, if you're going to take this traveling, you're going to get on an airplane and fly 6 hours to another coast or out of the country, whatever it might be. You sit in the doctor's office on a weekly basis, you sit in a carpool line, whatever it might be, and you want to be able to access an entire season's worth of shows, or you want to put, I don't know how many thousands of songs or pictures or movies in there. Think about getting a memory card to put in what I call the magic door. The magic door, that's not really what it's called, that's what I call it, is this little slot on the side here. If you put any size memory card inside there, you're going to make the digital garage inside your tablet larger and not have to go and trade this one in because 32 gigs wasn't enough. Now I need the 64. 64 wasn't enough. I need the 128. 128 wasn't enough. 256. You see where I'm going with all this. So what you can do is buy those memory cards, and I believe we have them available. I don't know which company they're coming from this time because they all do the same thing. You can turn that 32 gigs all the way up to 1,000 gigabytes. And I can promise this on live TV, you will never, ever fill up 1,000 gigabytes in a tablet. That's a terabyte. That is Alex from HP internal storage size storage. It's massive. Where I'm going with all this is that the tablet still only costs you $85. Even if you go and spend a few bucks on a memory card, you don't have to worry about ever running out of room in here. So you can put all that content inside and take that content with you when you travel. Okay, I mentioned there's like 2 or 3 big features that are unique to the Fire tablet. The second one is, in fact, we were just showing you the kids version of the Echo. Well, guess what? Inside here, you can do the same thing when it comes to child-proofing your tablet. Because what happens is, let's go down here, right there. It says Amazon Kids. This fully functioning 32 gig tablet can be turned into a kid's tablet with the push of a button. And you're like, hang on a second. You mean I don't have to buy a second tablet for my kids? And the answer is no, you don't have to buy another tablet. What it will do is it will become a kid's tablet simply by tapping onto that button. And it'll flip itself around here eventually. But what it'll do is, and I'm not even gonna bore you guys with this. Not bore you, but I'm not gonna make you sit through the setup there. What'll happen is this will then turn into a kid's tablet, and everything that's done on there will be controlled by you. The duration of the movies that they watch, or the time they spend watching movies, the duration of how long they're gaming, how long they're allowed to go on websites, and you go, websites? Wait a second, that can't go right. You tell them exactly how many or which websites they're able to go to. You tell them which games they're able to play. You tell them, you can read all day long. I'm not going to put a limit on that, but if you don't do your homework, I'm turning off the gaming, and I'm turning off this, and I'm turning off of that. Because what you can do is, you go on your phone, from work, for example, you're not even in the house. Kids are at home, it's summertime, you're at work, and you go, oh, I see on here